Hello everyone. Welcome to Infinite Floating Stocks. In this session, uh, I'm going to talk about what's the main difference between option buying and option selling, and I'm going to explain you the significance or the points that you need to be considering while choosing option buying and while choosing option selling. Okay, so all right, let's not waste the time. Let's start. Okay, so I'm Venkat and I welcome everyone to Infinite Floating Stocks. Okay. All right. These are the contents for today's session. I'm going to explain you about the main differences between option buying and option selling. Okay. And also, let's talk about why option selling is more preferable or more preferred to option buying. Okay. So, I mean, if you go down to some YouTube video or if you ask someone who's a professional trader or who know about options, that person might be, I mean, there is a high chance that the person might be saying that option selling is best. Okay. So I'll be explaining you why professional traders or some person says that option selling is more preferable or more preferred to option buying. Okay. So why they say that, what's the main difference, so where the difference comes. Okay, I'll be explaining you all that details in detail. And uh and most of the you already know the difference, so because we are already done with strategy sessions. You already know that we are done with buying call, buying put, and selling call and selling put strategies. Okay, so with that you clearly know the difference between option buying and option selling. But I'll 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 try to elaborate few other things that you need to be considering while differentiating option buying and option selling. Okay, and why option selling is preferred. Okay, and definitely, yeah, we should know the difference between equity market, futures market, and option buying and option selling. So I'll clearly point out the major difference between equity markets, futures market, options buying, and option selling. Okay, so finally, I'll help you understand the importance of expiry. Okay, which is Thursday, which is weekly expiry is Thursday and monthly expiry is month's last Thursday. Okay, or if Thursday is an holiday, then expiry will prepone to uh, Wednesday. Okay, if Wednesday is also a holiday, then expiry will prepone to Tuesday. It's like that. Okay, so, and you need to be you need to be noting this point. There won't be consecutive holidays in stock market. Okay, so it's very rare. So Wednesday and Thursday being an holiday and expiry shifting back to Tuesday. Okay, so that's rare thing. So there won't be consecutive holidays in stock market. Okay, that's rare. So you directly cannot rule out that probability. It can happen or it may happen in future, but probability is very less. Okay, all right, these are the contents for today's session. So here comes the first content, which is what is the difference between option buying and option selling. Okay, all right. Okay, coming down to risk, reward, and right and obligation thing. Okay, so this slide mainly talks about uh, risk reward ratios in option buying and option selling, and also right and the who gets the right and who gets the obligation. Okay, you already know this from the previous session. Okay, all right. So option buyer will have limited risk. You know that because he's an option buyer, he pays the premium, he pays the token amount, or he pays the advanced amount. Okay, so he gets the right. Okay, if he's having the right, he can do anything. Okay, if he can have, if he is having the right and if he can do anything, what can he do? He'll gain the maximum profit, right? So he'll try to gain the maximum profit if he's having the right. Okay, so there's a major difference. Okay, if you're an option buyer, you will have limited risk and unlimited profits. You already know this. But when you are an option, when you are entering into an option contract, when you are signing an option contract, okay, you need to be paying some premium, or you need to be paying some advanced amount, or you need to be paying some token amount. Okay, so because of paying the token amount or premium amount, you will be getting the right. Okay, treat this right as fundamental right. Okay, So if you're having the right, you can do anything. Okay. So if the option buyer gets that right, he'll try to gain the he'll try to gain maximum profits. I repeat, while signing option contract or while entering into an option contract, if you're an option buyer, you will be paying some premium and you will be entering into a contract. Okay. If you pay the premium, if you pay the token amount, or if you pay the advance amount, you will get the right. If you get the right, you can do anything. Okay. In that scenario, option buyer tries to capture maximum profits because he has the right. Okay. So in that scenario, in so that the option buyer has unlimited profit. Okay. So unlimited profit, and he has very limited risk because he has the right, he can do anything. Okay. You already know this. You have been through the four basic strategies now, so you know the difference. Okay. All right. So when you're an option seller, which is nothing but opposite of option buyer, then yeah, it is opposite. If you're an option seller, you won't get the right. You will get the obligation. Okay. So obligation is opposite of right, and option seller is opposite of option buyer. Okay. So if you're an option seller, you will have unlimited risk, which can be managed by placing proper and good stop loss. I repeat, option seller has unlimited risk, but that unlimited risk can be converted to limited risk by putting proper or good stop loss. Okay. So option seller will have unlimited risk and limited profits. Okay. So option seller will have obligation. He won't have right, because right will get to the person who pays the premium, who is an option buyer. Okay. Now let's look at the payoff diagrams for better understanding. All right, let's go there. So this is Opstra, and you already know how to open opstra.definehedge.com. Okay. Click on options and select some expiry and select some strikes. Let's select 14,500. Okay. Now option buying versus option selling, right? So let's buy call option, buying call option. Okay. Add position. Now I am able to see payoff diagram, payoff chart. Okay. Now see here. What's the risk? What's the risk? Risk is very limited. Okay. See, uh, what I'm doing here, I'm dealing with Nifty, and I have selected options here, and I have selected the nearest expiry, nearest weekly expiry, which is 20th of January. And I'm expecting that market will be staying above 14,500 before 28th of January. Okay. So in that scenario, I am bullish, right? Because the current market price is 14,371. Okay. I'm expecting that market will be staying above 14,500 before 20th of January. Okay, here I am bullish, so I would like to deal with buy call. I would like to buy calls. Okay, see what's happening. If I am buying calls, this is a premium that I need to pay, which is 80.55. To be an option buyer, I need to be paying 80.55 as a premium. Okay, so let's go to Zerodha and select 14,500 strike of Nifty. C is call option. This is a call option. Okay. And if I select on that, if I click on buy, what's the money it is asking? 6,000, right? So what is 6,000? Why it is asking 6,000? Pretty simple. Now see, that 6,000 is nothing but 80.55, 80.55 into how many quantities? 75 quantities, right? Into 75. Into 75 equal to 6,000. Okay. So that's what he is asking there. You need to be paying 6,000. You need to be paying 6,000 if you want to enter this options contract. Okay. All right. So you need to be paying 6,000 if you want to enter, if you want to buy call option, expecting that market will be staying above 14,500 before 28th of January. Okay. All right. So risk is limited here. What is risk? Risk is nothing but the amount which you have paid, which is nothing but 6041. 6041 is the amount which you have paid, and you will be losing only 6041. If your view goes wrong, and if the market stays below 14,500, this is the break even point. If the market stays below 14,500, then you will be losing 6,041 rupees. Even if it is falling down to 13,000, or even if it falls down to zero, then also you'll be losing only 6,441. Nothing but risk is limited here, and look at the reward, which is unlimited. The more high the market goes, the more profits you get if you're an option buyer. Okay. In the same scenario, let's sell put. Okay. Let's sell put. Imagine that you are bullish. You are expecting market to be staying above 14,500 before 20th of January. Instead of buying calls, let's see what happens if you sell put. Okay. All right, give me a second, guys. All right. Okay. So what I'm doing, 14,500 put, 14,500 put, add position. Okay. Now see, look at the profit. Profit is limited here. Here you are an option seller. What you are doing, you sold put. That means you are an option seller here. Here your risk is limited. Sorry, your risk is unlimited. Okay. If your view goes wrong, if market falls down badly, you will face more loss. Okay, look at your loss, minus 85,000, minus 60,000, minus 56,000. Okay, so if the more the market falls, the more loss you face if you're an option seller. But this can be controlled by placing proper stop loss. Okay. If you're an option seller, your risk is limited. Look, if your view goes right, and look, if the market is going up till 14,700, then also you'll get only 15,300. Even if it is going down to 15,400, then also you'll be getting profits only 15,300. Okay. So your profits are limited. Your risk is unlimited when you're an option seller. Okay. So that's the difference. Let's get on to the slides. So, all right, we are done with this slide. Now, option buyer will have to pay only premium amount while buying. We have already calculated the amount that is needed to be an option buyer. Okay. What we need, 80.55, which is a strike price, sorry, which is the premium amount that you need to be paying, into 75 is nothing but you are trading with 75 quantities. Okay. So 80.55 into 75, which is nothing but 6041. 6,041 is the amount that you need to pay as a premium for 75 quantities if you're an option buyer. Okay. So option buyer will have to pay only the premium amount while buying, and option seller will have to pay huge margin while selling. Okay. Let's get on to Zerodha and check. Imagine in the same scenario, instead of buying, click on sell. Click on sell. Now see what's the amount it is asking, 45,000, right? Here you don't get the right. Okay. You'll get the obligation. You need to be paying more. Okay. If you're an option seller. All right. So option seller will have to pay huge margin while selling, but option buyer will have to pay only the premium amount. Option buyer. Let's click on buy and check the amount. He's asking only 6,000 if you're an option buyer. But if you're an option seller, look how much he's asking. You need to be paying 45,000. Okay. That's the difference. Second difference. So let's go to trading platform for better understanding. I already shown you that. Okay. So why option selling is more preferable to option buying? Simple. So option selling is preferred to option buying. Why? Success probability of option buyers is only 30%, and success probability of option sellers is 70 to 80 percentage. Listen to these two lines very carefully. Okay. So you need to remember this point. Okay. Because lot many professional traders who have been trading since lot many years, they have experienced that option selling is more preferable than option buying, because uh, I mean, they have calculated, they made trading journal, and they found that success probability of option buying is only 30%, but success probability of option sellers is 70 to 80%, which is huge. Okay. So if you're an option seller, you'll be paying more money, and the success probability is also more here. Okay. When it comes to option buying, you'll be paying less money, and success probability is also less here. Okay. So let's get on to trading platform again, and let's cross check. Now see, if you are bullish and if you want to buy 14,500 call option, click on buy. Look at the money it is asking for 75 quantities. It's asking only 6,000. But if you're an option buyer, what's the thing? The success probability is less here. The risk is limited, reward is unlimited, and success probability is less. You're paying less money, and your probability of success is also less here if you're an option buyer. Okay. According to professional traders, they have been trading since many years, and they have experienced it, and that's true. Okay. If you're an option buyer, you'll be paying only premium amount, which is less amount, and probability of success is also less if you're an option buyer. Okay. But when it is coming to option selling, let's click on sell, option sell. If you're an option seller, look, you're paying more money. You're paying 45,000. If you're an option buyer, uh, you got to pay, okay. If you're an option buyer, you got to pay only 6,000. But if you're an option seller, you got to pay 40, you should be paying 45,000. Okay. So here, you will be paying more amount, and the probability of success is also more here if you're an option seller. Okay. Understand that in option buying, you'll pay less, probability of success is also less. If you're an option seller, you pay more, you pay more money, you invest more money, and your success probability is also more there. Okay. All right. So 70 to 80 percentage of the times, option buyers lose money because they need super volumes. Okay. And impulsive move and high VIX market or more volatile market. Okay. That means that their target should hit in less time. Okay. I repeat, this point is very important. You need to understand this point. Okay. See, success probability of an option buyer is only 30%, and success probability of option seller is 70 to 80 percentage. Okay. So 70 to 80 percentage of the times, option buyers lose money. Why they lose money? Because they need super volumes. They need impulsive move. They need high VIX market. Okay. They need more volatile market. Okay. To make money. So 70 to 80 percentage of the 70 to 80 percentage of the times, option buyers lose money because they need all these things: super volumes, they need impulsive move, they need high VIX market, then they need more volatile market. Okay. But market won't be super impulsive, or it won't be moving with high, I mean, it won't be more volatile all the time. Okay. Most of the time market moves sideways. Okay. So it impulsive moves will have impulsive moves are, I mean, if you consider, market will be moving in sideways for most of the times, and it will make impulsive moves only after breakouts. Okay. So if you're an option buyer, you need to be catching breakout movements, or you need to be scalping quick movements. Nothing but your target should be achieved within less time if you're an option buyer. Okay. So if market moves in sideways, if market moves in, if VIX is low, then option selling is preferable. Okay. So most of the times, 70 to 80 percentage of the times, market moves sideways. Okay. Let's get on to the charts and understand it. uh where is Nifty? All right, this is Nifty. Let me delete my analysis, and now see. Okay, let's consider from this day. Oh, okay. Let's see, let's consider from all these days. Okay. See, sideway market. Okay. See, oh, impulsive move followed by sideway market. Most of the times it will be sideway. See, this is all sideway market, then followed by impulsive. Okay. Now see, sideway market. Okay. Sideway market. Okay. And this is impulsive move market. No worries. All right, this can also be impulsive move market day. And look at this thing, sideway market. Okay, and look at this day, sideway market. Look at this day, sideway market. Look at this day, it's sideway market, sideway market. Okay, and this is impulsive move. Okay, and look, sideway market. Okay, so market will be moving sideways 70 to 80 percentage of the times, which benefits option selling. Okay, so option buy is also good, but success probability is less because high VIX market, impulsive move market, and super volume market is only 20 to 30 percentage. That happens only 20 to 30 percentage of the times according to history. Okay, so success probability of option buyers is less than success probability of option sellers. Okay, so even if the market moves in sideways, then also option sellers get benefited. Okay, so 70 to 80 percentage of the times market moves in sideways, which benefits option sellers. Okay, and momentum should be strong for option buyers. That's what I told. You need to be scalping or you need to be waiting for breakouts. That means your target should be achieved very fast if you're an option buyer. Okay, if market moves in sideways, then option selling is preferable. Market moves sideways 70 to 80 percentage of the times according to history, and 70 to 80 percentage of the times option sellers get benefited. Okay, even though the risk is unlimited, you can manage it with proper stop loss. Okay, so option buyers need trendy market, but market won't be trendy always. All right. Okay, so look at the disadvantages of an option buyer. Option buyer needs super volume market, impulsive move market, high VIX market, more volatile market, trendy market, strong momentum market, and their target should be hit in very less time. Okay, these are all the conditions you need to be looking for if you're an option buyer. Okay, but if you're an option seller, nothing. You just need sideway market, and according to history, 70 to 80 percentage of the time market moves sideways. Okay, all right. So after listening all these things, now what do you want to do to be on profitable side? If you're bullish, instead of buying calls, sell puts. Okay, if you're bearish, instead of buying puts, sell calls. Now here is something that I wanted to say, which is very important. If it is Friday and Monday, you can go for option buying. Friday and Monday. If it is Friday and Monday, you can buy options. Okay, if it is Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, you need to sell options. This is very important point. Write it down. If it is Friday and Monday, you you can buy options. If it is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you can sell options. Okay, you need to be an option buyer. If it is Friday and Monday, you need to be an option seller if it is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Okay, so to be on profitable side, if you're bullish, instead of buying calls, sell puts. If you're bearish, instead of buying puts, sell calls. Okay, that's an advantage. Sorry, that's an advice. Delta and Vega. Okay, Delta and Vega are friends. You already know what is Delta. Okay, so Delta and Vega are friends of option buyer, and Theta is friend of an option seller. Theta is nothing but time decay. Okay, nothing but the value of the premiums will come to zero. All the out of the money strikes of calls and put will come down to zero, will expire to zero on expiry day. Okay, that is because time decay. That is because theta decay. Okay, according to our derivative example, if you remember the very first session, I have told you that the value of the letter will be zero after 31st of December. Okay, the Goa party event is on 31st of December according to our example, and the value of the recommendation letter will be absolutely zero after 31st of December. Okay, in the similar way, options will be also having an expiry, and after expiry date they won't be having any value. Okay, so that is why all the out of the money options will expire to zero. All the out of the money options will expire to zero on expiry day. Okay, and they won't be having any value after expiry day. So delta and vega are friends of option buyer, and theta, which is nothing but time decay, is a friend of an option seller. Okay, And in option buying, one can be profitable when only when the market is when only when market moves heavily, or only when the market moves uh, making impulsive move or high VIX market, etc. Okay. All right. So when it comes to option selling, you can be profitable in three ways. Okay. When it comes to option selling, you can be profitable in three ways. Sideway market, if it is a sideway market, you will be profitable. Even if market is moving slowly, nothing but a sideway market, then also you will be profitable. And if your analysis goes wrong, then also you'll be profitable when you're an option seller. Okay. Note down, they are very important. Sideway market, or even if your target even if your target achieves, I mean, even if the market hits your target slowly, then also you'll be profitable. Even if your analysis goes wrong slightly, then also you'll be profitable when you're dealing with when you're an option seller. You already know this, because I have explained about this thing in short call and short put option trading strategy. Okay. All right. So when it comes to option buying, you need to be scalping. Okay. Scalp is nothing but trade that has been done in minutes or seconds. Okay. So you need to be buying and selling in a quick span, in few seconds or few minutes. Okay. So when it is coming to option buying, scalping works best. We need to be scalping the huge rally and book profits immediately if you're an option buyer. That's an advice. That's a pro tip. I'm speaking with an experience. So it's really important you guys to realize and give importance to these points. That will help you in in becoming an independent trader. That will help you. I mean, if you follow all these things will help you become an independent super trader. Okay. So when it comes to option buying, scalping works best. Scalping is nothing but trade that has been done in few minutes or seconds. Okay. So we need to be scalping the huge rally and book profits immediately. Let's get on to the charts. Now let me delete all these things. All right, let's talk about this day. Now imagine that this is your good trend line. Oh, okay. I'm talking about this day. Okay. This is a support line. Okay. Because stock took support here, bounced back. Again, it took again support here and it bounced back. Finally, it broke our support. Okay. Now, after breaking this support, if we expect that market will be moving heavily, how did it move? It moved heavily. It came down very fast. Okay. In that scenario, you need to be what you need to be doing. You need to be buying puts. Okay. You need to be buying put of 14,200 or 14,250 or 14,300. Okay. Now see impulsive move. If you're an option buyer, you need impulsive move. See here, imagine that the market is falling down. That means the market is bearish. That means you need to be buying puts here. Okay. So if you need to buy puts, if you're an option buyer, that means you're an option buyer. That means you need impulsive move. Okay. So here the breakout happened. I mean, it took support here, bounced back. Again, it took support here, bounced back. And finally it broke the support. Okay. And if you expect that market gonna fall down fastly after that breakout, you need to be immediately buying 14,200 put or 14,250 put or 14,300 put. Okay. So that means you're buying what you're doing, you're buying 14,200 or 14,250 put. Okay. That means you're an option buyer. That means you need impulsive move. Okay. See, immediately after buying puts, then if market falls like this, you'll be benefited. Okay. You need to be scalping. How many minutes? Let's look at. Imagine that you entered here after breakout on this candle, and only in 3-4 candles you should be booking all your profits. Okay. From 135 to half an hour trade. This is an half an hour trade. Okay. No problem. If you are trading for if you're trading in minutes, then also it's fine. In 2 candles, you should be catching this move and book your profits. Okay, you can do that. So we need to be scalping the huge rally and book profit immediately if you're an option buyer. Okay, when it is close to expiry, if it is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, instead of being an option buyer, sell puts. Sorry, sell puts or sell calls. Be an option seller instead of an option buyer if you are close to an expiry. Okay, so more the time market takes to hit the target, more loss option buyer can face because of theta. Okay, you already know this. If you're an option buyer, if it is taking more time to hit your target, that means market is moving sideways. That means uh, if you're an option buyer, you will be at loss. But if you're an option seller, then you will be profitable. Okay, so here comes the interesting slide. So you need to be knowing the difference between equity market, futures market, option buying versus option selling. Okay, what's the main difference? Why we need to buy options or sell options, even if we have we are if we are comfortable with equity and futures market, why we need to buy options or sell options? What's the advantage? Why we need to trade options if you're good with equity? What's the advantage? Okay, I'll be explaining you that now. Let's get on to trading platform. Okay, now I'll be clearly explaining you about the difference between equity, futures, and options. Okay, for that, uh, okay, let's consider Tata Motors. Okay, so here is the Tata Motors, and this is an equity stock. Okay, so if I click buy on Tata Motors, if I click buy on Tata Motors, see, I can buy one quantity, or I can buy two quantities, or I can buy three quantities, or I can buy four quantities, or five, six, seven, eight. I can buy 500 quantities, or I can buy 70 quantities, or I can buy 1783, some random quantities. Okay, it depends upon the margin that I have. Okay, so there, I mean, did you understand? I can trade how many quantities that I want to trade. Okay, so it's like if I want to trade with one kind quantity, I can do that. If I want to trade with seven quantity, I can do that. If I want to trade with nine quantities, I can do that. If I want to trade with 97, 87 quantities, then also I can do that. If I want to trade with 999 quantities, then also I can do that. Okay, that's with equity, when you're dealing with equity. Okay, now let's consider future. So Nifty Jan future. Okay, if I click on buy, look, I cannot buy, I cannot buy one quantity. See, I'm not, I cannot buy one quantity. If I place, I mean, if I click on one here, I cannot place order. This trading platform will reject my order. Okay, because futures and options allows only standardized quantities. Okay, so I should be trading with only 75 quantities or multiple of 75 quantities. See, if I click here, from 120, from 75 it directly went to 150. Okay, if I click again, it went to 225. If I click again, it went to 300. If I click again, 375, then 450, then 525. But when it is coming to Tata Motors, look, if I click on one click, two, again click three, again click four, again click five, again click six. Okay, so in equity market, I can trade with I can trade with any quantity that I wanted to trade. Okay, all loose quantities, like a retail shop. Okay, but when it is coming down to futures, if it is going down to futures, you should be trading with only some standardized quantities, which is 75 and multiple of 75 only. Okay, so if it is bank nifty, it is multiple of 25, 25, 50, 75, 100. Okay, so if you're dealing with bank nifty, one lot size is 25 here, one lot size is 25 here. If it is nifty, one lot size is 75 here. If it is finance nifty, fin nifty, then lot size is 40 here. Okay, so in futures you cannot trade with loose quantities. You cannot trade with loose quantities. Okay, in equity market you can trade with loose quantities, but in futures and options market you cannot trade with loose quantities. See, if I select options, what is options? 14,500 CE. If I click on buy there, again I need to be dealing with 75 quantities or multiple of 75 quantities. Okay, if I click on buy, see 75 quantities or multiple of 75 quantities. Let's select some bank nifty option 31,200 30 C. Okay, let me add it. All right, now see, if I click on buy here, it's multiple of 25 because it's bank nifty. Okay, I cannot trade with loose quantities like 1 or 2 or 9 quantities or 89 quantities or some 55 quantities or some 99 quantities. I cannot trade with those quantities which I desired for. Okay, if you're an, if you are trading in equity market in Tata Motors or Axis Bank or ICICI Bank or some other stocks, if you're an equity trader, you can trade with any number of quantities that you want to. But if you're trading in futures and options market, you need to be trading with multiple of standardized quantities. Okay, if it is bank nifty, standardized quantity is 25 multiple. Okay, if it is nifty market, if it is nifty if it is nifty futures, then standardized quantity is 75 multiple. If it is finance nifty, standardized quantity is 40 and 40 multiple. Okay, so in options as well, if it is nifty option, it is multiple of 75. If it is bank nifty option, it is multiple of 25. Okay, so that's the main difference between equity market, futures market, and options market. Okay, all right. So if you're bullish, we simply buy stock of our desired quantities. I already told you that. If you're bearish, then also we simply sell stock of our desired quantities. You can buy 1 quantity or 10 quantity or 12 quantity or 89 quantity or 79 quantity or some 66 quantity. Okay. But if you're dealing with futures and options market, let's look at futures market. Okay, if you're bullish or if you're bearish. Okay, if if you're bullish, we sell we simply buy futures of that stock or index of standardized quantity. It is also called as lot, lot. Okay, standardized quantities can also be called as lots. Okay, in stock market terminology. Okay, so if you are dealing with nifty, then you need to be dealing with multiple of 75. Okay, one lot is 75 quantities. If you're dealing with bank nifty, one lot is 25 quantities. Okay, so we need to be, you cannot buy loose quantities like 1 or 9, 89, some etc, 66 etc. Okay, so in equity market you can buy stocks or sell stocks of your desired quantities, but in futures and options market you cannot buy or sell your of loose quantities. You need to be buying or selling uh, buying or selling quantities which are multiples of lots. Okay, so in options market it's simple. So even if you're bullish, if we are bullish, we simply buy or sell options of certain strike price by paying some premium for stock or index of standardized quantities. Okay, let me show you the difference between futures and options. Now see, if I click on futures, look at the amount it is asking me. 49,000, right? 49,000. It's huge, right? But if I select option, how much it is asking? Only 11,000. Less, right? Okay. So here I am paying only premium. Okay. The premium is 151 here. Okay. I repeat, let's look at the definition. So in futures market, we simply click on buy or we simply click on sell depending upon where our view, and we should be selecting lots or we should be selecting quantities depending upon lot size. Okay, or multiples of lot size. If you are an option, if you want to deal with options market, if you want to deal with call or put options, then you need to be paying, right? you need to be paying premium. You need to be paying premium. Okay, so that premium cost you less money. See, if I click buy on futures, I need to be paying 49,000. But if I click on options, that is on call or put, if I click buy there, it is asking me only 9,000 here. If I select this strike, it's asking 11,000. If I select 14,500 strike, it's asking only 6,000. Okay, so it depends upon premium that you should be paying. Okay, now see, for this, for 14,500 call strike, premium is only 80, so I should be paying only 6,000. But for 14,400, premium is 151, so I should be paying 11,000. For 14,400, premium is 125, so I should be paying 9,000. Okay, so depending upon the premium, the margin required varies. Okay, so that's the difference between equity. Equity is nothing but loose quantities. You can trade with the quantities which you, how much you want it to be. And coming to futures market, you need to be trading with only lots. Coming to options market, you need to be trading with only lots, but here you need to be paying the premiums in options. In futures, you need to be paying whole amount. In equity, you need to be paying according to the quantities you choose. Okay, so types of options, you already know this, call and put options, and you already know the market outlook according to the calls and put options. Okay, so if you're bullish, you need to be buying calls and or selling puts. Okay, if you are bullish, if you expect that market gonna rise, if you expect that market gonna move upward, then you need to be buy call or sell put. Okay, when you need to buy call, if it is Friday and Monday. If it is Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, it is suggestible to sell puts when you are bullish. Okay, so when you are bearish, that means you are expecting that market gonna fall down. Okay, that means you are expecting that market gonna move towards downward. Okay, so in that scenario, you need to be buying put or selling calls. Okay, when you need to buy put, you need to be buying puts when it is Friday and Monday, and you need to be selling calls if it is Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, when you have bearish view. Okay, I repeat, uh, if it is a bullish market, you need to be buying call or selling put. You need to be buying call if you are bullish on Friday and Monday, and you need to be selling put if you are bullish on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Okay, and if you're bearish on Friday and Monday, buy put, and if you're bearish on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, then you need to be selling call. Okay, that's a suggestion. Okay, so if you follow that, you will get more money. And importance of expiries in futures options, you already know what is an expiry, when is an expiry, and what's the value of the derivative, or what's the value of the contract after expiry. Okay, what's the value? Yes, it's absolutely zero. That is a reason all out of the money strikes expire to zero on Thursday, which is expiry. Okay, so because they won't be having any value after expiry. All right, now look at the expiry. Yeah, this is very important. So we have a chance of holding equity shares till many years. Okay, let's look at Tata Motors again. Tata Motors. See, if I want to, I should be selecting long term here. Okay, and I should, if I select 1,000 quantities, and if I select a long term, and if I click on buy, then I can hold 1,000 quantities of Tata Motors till lot many years. I repeat, if I want to hold 1,000 quantities, I mean, if I select a long term here, and if I enter if I want to hold 1,000 quantities of Tata Motors share for lot many years, then I need to be selecting long term here. Okay, so in equity market, I will have the flexibility. I will have that flexibility of holding Tata Motors or some other equity stocks till lot many years. Okay, but when it is coming to futures and options, let's select some future, January future. See, Nifty January future. Okay, if I select overnight, that means I can hold this. I can hold this futures contract only till January. Okay, once we are into February, then the value of this contract will become 0. Okay, I mean this contract will expire on last Thursday of January, which is 20th of January. Okay, so this contract is valid only till 20th of January, which is last Thursday of January. Okay, so I cannot hold it till lot many years. Okay, if you are a long term investor, if you want to hold shares of some company for years, then you need to be trading in equity. Okay, so if you are dealing with futures and options are nothing but contracts that expires every week and every month. Okay, if you select a weekly contract, they expire every week. If you select monthly contract, they expire on last Thursday of that month. Okay, now see, if I select let me select February expire or some March expiry. Nifty March futures. Okay, now see, Nifty March futures. Okay, so what does oh what does that mean? So sorry. Now see, if I click on buy, that means I can hold 75 shares of Nifty only till last Thursday of March. Okay, so after that, this futures contract will expire. I cannot hold this 75 shares of Nifty after March. Okay, so there will be expiry date for futures and options, but there won't be any expiry for equity market. So if you want to invest for lot many years, you need to be going for equity. If you want to work on contracts, weekly contracts and monthly contracts, then you need to be working on futures and options. Okay, same with options. See, options, if I click on buy or sell, it shows the date, which is Nifty Jan. That means last Thursday of Jan. Okay, so that's how it look like. Let me select Nifty Feb. Okay, Nifty 14,500. Okay, now see, look at the dates here. Nifty 4th of February contract, 4th February contract, 11th February contract, 11th Feb contract, 18th Feb contract, 18th Feb contract. Okay, so that means if you buy or sell of these contracts, if you buy or sell 4th Feb contract, that means after 4th Feb, that contract will expire and that won't be having any value. Okay, so that is nothing but 4th Feb is weekly expiry, which is first Thursday of Feb. Okay, 11th is second Thursday or second weekly expiry of Feb, and 18th is third weekly expiry, third expiry. Okay, third weekly expiry or third Thursday of Feb. Okay, so if you want to work on weekly expiry, then you need to be selecting this strike. If you want to work on 11th Feb expiry, then you need to be selecting this strike. If you want to work on 18th Feb expiry, which is third Thursday of Feb, then you need to be selecting that strike. I mean, yeah, that strike. Okay, so here the date behind the instrument, behind the underlying asset, says you uh, the expiry day, which is Thursday. Okay, all right, you cannot hold them after the expiry. Okay, so we have a chance of holding equity shares till many years, I just showed, and that can be any number of quantities. But in futures and options, you need to be dealing with lots, and you need to be dealing with multiples of that lots only. Okay, and we'll be having an expiry day, and we cannot hold futures and options position after expiry. Okay, so weekly expiry is Thursday, you already know this, and monthly expiry is month's last Thursday. Okay, so if Thursdays are holidays, expiry will move to Wednesdays. Okay, and all right, that's it. That's all the difference between option buying and option selling, and that's all the difference between equity market versus options versus futures versus option buying and option selling. Okay, I'm expecting you guys are very clear with this session, and I'm really expecting that you guys have learned something new in this session. And if you guys have any questions, you can call me up anytime, and or you can message us. You can message me anytime. I'll be answering. I'll be explaining each and everything clearly. Okay, I'll clear all your doubts. Okay, if you have any doubts, call me up or message me. And if you like this session, if you like my teaching, if you like my explanation, if you guys are pretty clear with what was taught till now, please like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay, thank you guys. Thanks a lot. Thank you everyone.